Hey everybody, it's time for another Redneck review, and today we are going over, the wonderful Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 31, cover B. As this is the IDW stuff. It is falling in line with the Turtles after their fight with the Shredder, after Leonardo, the leader of the Turtles, went over to the dark side and started to work for Shredder. And they're still at the April O'Neil farm where they are trying to piece their life back together and figure out if they're going back into the city or not. Alright, we find the story starts off with Casey and Donatello working on this bike. Man, it's an awesome looking bike on the cover. I've got to give it to the pencilist here, the Rosa Campbell, who did these arts so beautifully. They're always great, the IDW stuff. And I've just got to give credit to that. And it starts off with them in the barn, him saying, "I hate to say it, but you're 100% wrong, Casey. No way, don't. I'm calling bullcrap on that. You just don't bring math into sports, man. Ever. That's like bringing your sister to the prom. It just ain't right. For your information," Natel says, so Saber Matrix has completely changed the business of baseball. Whatever. All I know is I can make a rocket down the left field line, and I don't need no fancy calculations or big words to do it neither. So, having a sports conversation with in a thematic situation with sports. I gotta agree with Casey. I like to keep numbers and academics out of sports. I mean, you want to know how many yards are in the field or whatever, but when you're playing, he's thinking about it. I think that's what he's doing in this thing. He's saying that I just want to be able to play the game, and I don't blame people for that. I agree with Casey Jones on that one. He goes, "I guess we're just going to have to agree to disagree," Donatello says. "Even though I'm totally right. Hey, just saying. Okay, that's all she wrote. Cool. By the way," Don tells him, "thanks again for helping me out with this." Case tells him, "No problem, dude. I used to do this kind of stuff with my dad all the time when I was a kid. Guy was pretty good at fixing things before he got way better at breaking them. Way better at breaking them. Besides, don't ever tell her I said this, but it beats going to the library with April. I mean, she said it's for the faster internet, but once that girl gets her own books, forget about it," Casey tells him. I think that's the way my wife feels about me, especially about comic books. Well, the story keeps on going in here, and Donatello is basically telling him, everything's different now. And he goes, "It's okay, dude. We're gonna get through this. These two friends going out. It's been a lot of these couple issues have been just basically the whole team coming together and trying to support each other after this crazy, thing that happened to them. This betrayal, this loss in faith, and just what our heroes go through. All right, well, we find ourselves in the next part of Raphael practicing and polishing up his skills, and all of a sudden, Elipix shows up. She goes, "That's something I never expected to see. I didn't take you for a Tai Chi type." He goes, "What? Not enough blood and guts for you foot types?" "For the record, Raphael," Alapix says, "I was never in the Foot Clan for the killing. I just wanted to belong to something." And I really think that gives us a great insight into Alapix, this character that I've really enjoyed in this series. I don't think she ever existed prior, but I really enjoyed it. Alright, well, anyway, she goes, "I just wanted to belong to something." I find that just enough to break the ice with her. To feel important, she says. You go, "Like a freak? After I was mutated, I was a total mess. I felt like a weird mix of two things that were never meant to go together. Like a freak," Raphael said. But that all changed when Shredder brought me into the Foot Clan," she told him. "For a while, I really thought I had a home, a purpose, a family, but it was a lie, all of it. I already had a family, and Shredder killed them. Like he killed everything he decides is useless to his big schemes, unless you're unimportant. And Raphael, in this uncharacteristic move towards them, he says, hey, don't let it get to you, Alapex. Who gives a crap what that pinhead Shredder thinks? Talk about having issues, that dude's got plenty. Look, I was alone for a while too, lost, but I didn't give up on finding my place, and eventually I did so well. You just keep pushing forward, and things will work out. Yeah, you do have a good thing going here, Raphael. Hey, call me Raph. And Alapex basically turns to him and says, or maybe I should just call you Boring instead. Tai Chi, seriously? He goes, boring, huh? And they proceed to do the one thing they're good at, fight each other. But this time it's more of a friendship sort of fight, so it's cool. And one thing back and forth. Story switches back to Leonardo, who is trying to forgive himself for all the things he did under Shredder's control. He goes, you know nothing about me, and he's thinking about the fight he had with Raphael in this scene right here. Yeah, I like that part in these stories because there's a couple things I've been going through that I've been trying to forgive myself for. I've been trying to control myself better. So this really hit home for me, and just trying to do better. So sometimes I don't have like a lot of people to go to, and sometimes I'll turn to my books or my Bible or something, and it just it helps me. I even watched an episode of Power Rangers or two when I'm really getting down. Alright, well, that's a little insight into the Red Prince right there. You can enjoy that part. Alright. Well, the story keeps going, and Leonardo is visited by Splinter, and there's been a lot of bad blood between the two. He goes, please don't stop on my account, Splinter says. No, it's not you. I just needed a break, that's all. He goes, indeed, my son. There are some who believe that a sword once down must never be returned to its scabbard until it tastes blood. Do you know this, my son? I have heard something like it, Sensei. Of course, it is more myth than any true creed, romanticized over the centuries for some fanciful purpose, I suppose. Yet all myths bloom from seeds of truth. In truth, a sword is merely an extension of the warrior who wields it. A tool, not a living thing, and a tool is incapable of bloodlust. That is purely a human urge. What exactly are you getting at, Sensei? Leonardo says. Only that Orokusaki tried to make you his sword, Leonardo. And then he deemed you a failure when he wielded you and you did not draw blood. In reality, you revealed the falsity of the myth. A warrior's blade need not taste blood for it to remain valuable. You provide Saki bloodlust. You proved Saki's bloodlust was fully his own, and never yours. It was not you who failed, my son. It was Shredder. And you see this? Well, he's talking to him, and he says, "Yeah. Well, I don't feel much like much of a success right now. I really don't feel much of anything." I understand. Do you? Leonardo says. Do you? There was a time, my son, when I felt I had no choice but giving up all that mattered to me and succumb to my pain. Please, just let me go. But your mother, Tang Shi, would not allow it. And Splinter reveals he's about his seeing Tang Shin and him giving advice on how to handle Leonardo. And he says, "You've seen her too?" He says, "Yes, and she told me to give you this back." He gives him back his bandana and walks away. It's so awesome. I think that's a really cool scene. Well, anyway, we have Leonardo. They're showing Donatello and Michelangelo, and Casey are showing Michelangelo the new bike, and he's like, Michelangelo says, "Dudes, you totally fixed it. oh man, I can't wait to take it for a spin. And Donatello is like, well, you're gonna have a long wait, bro. Racing it all over the farm will blow our cover faster than you can say dirty carburetor. Yeah, there's April got a jet, and then Casey's looking at him like, look, you can handle this. I'm not gonna be anywhere near around him when he's on that motorcycle. And we see April after she went to the bookstore, and she's got a real crazy haircut. It's that really short hair. I'm a bit I like short hair on women, and April O'Neil, this April O'Neil, it doesn't do nothing for me for her. He goes, I'll take that as a yes. She asked him if he likes it. He goes, he's looking at the way he's like, I'll take it that you like it. Yeah. And the guys are up there like, oh yeah, Casey, woo. So, guess those two are a thing now, huh? Yep. They have got a lucky guy. And April tells Casey that he's been she went back to her notes and all the things she had on TGRI, and she finds out that the ooze was never meant just to be a weapon to create mutations. It was also meant to be like a miracle drug. It can restore people's physical abilities and stuff like that. And she keeps asking Casey, I want to be able to give this to Splinter and them to help them heal after their fight with the Shredder. And she says, but there's someone else I want to give it to too. And Casey looks at her in the scene and goes, your father? Yeah. Well, what do you think you ought to do? He says, I think I should give it to them. Casey tells him, no, you need to give it to your father. People like the Turtles and me, we're meant to bleed, he tells him. But your dad has been hurting for a long time. And you have a responsibility to your father. It was really cool. I mean, I thought so. It was really lovely that they put that in there. Well, we see all the Turtles and Alepex sharing a meal at in the barn and everything like that. When suddenly they're enjoying some good, recreation. When suddenly somebody comes in for the roof. A new mutation shows up saying, massacre them. And there's these new crazy little foot ninja. He goes, Raphael yells out, what the heck? Who's the crazy bird? And how'd they find us here? And Raphael takes this bird boy on. He goes, I think, the bird flies away, says, I think not. Wait a minute. How did they know where? He goes, and Alepex is outside the building. He goes, and immediately Raphael looks at her and says, you did this. Who are these clowns? They go, foot assassins. So they're, specific assassin Foot Clan soldiers. And they are just bringing it to Splinter, the best martial artist there. It was you, Ralph yells out to the Alepex. He goes, wait, no, you're still with them. He thinks that Alepex is a traitor, or just a rat. Dude, where's the bird? And this dude is coming at him in the sky quick, and this is a fast fight. And Donatello just manages to get Splinter out of the way really quick, saying, look out! He goes, Mike, you okay? Yeah, it's just the two of them in there now that Ralph's outside. I mean, Leonardo's not there. But, they're all, and Donatello and Michelangelo are like, yeah, but sure, I really miss the quiet now, dude. I won't complain about it again. Alright. So, Splinter grabs him and says, focus, my sons, focus. And he says, and defend your family. So they're all going at each other like crazy. There's not a lot of really important dialogue. It's just a fight scene. But Splinter finally gets his second win taking these guys down. Until the new bird guy comes out. And he's got the edge on him because he can fly. But he finally pulls down Splinter and says, are you prepared for the slaughter? He goes, that's funny, bird. I was going to ask you the same question. So Leonardo is back, and he's ready to take on this new bird boy. So all in all, it was a pretty great comic. Usually the Turtle stuff usually is, especially from IDW. All in all, I got to give the story a 5, and the art obviously is a 5 too. There's not a lot of advertisements or stuff like that. So all in all, I'm going to give it a perfect comic score. Usually I do on the Turtle comic stuff. I don't know why I don't do it for the Marvel and DC stuff, but this stuff with IDW, it's always top notch in my opinion. Alright guys, well that's your Redneck review. This is Robert Lawrence here, the Red Prince here. Now give me some comments down here guys, let me know how I'm doing, all my subscribers out there. If you want to make a comment or whatnot, I'd be happy to hear it. Just make sure they're constructive criticism, not anything negative or just plain out mean. Alright guys, well God bless you all, and stay tuned. More stuff's on the way.